is going on, y'all? You have tuned in to another episode of On the Move Unscripted. Today is just Patricia. It's no Mr. Stout today, but I have a special guest, right? Because everybody knows I used to live in Chicago. Well, I don't know if you did. If you didn't know, I used to live in Chicago. And when I lived in Chicago many years ago, I ran into so many talented people. And my next guest is one of those people, Miss Angie A. Love. And so I want to introduce Miss Angie A. Love. She's such a phenomenal woman. She has so many talents. I don't even know where to begin. So I'm just going to start off by saying, what's going on, Miss Angie? In the freaking building, baby.
Hey. Just so much going on. Just blessed though, but it's been busy. It's been a lot.
So how's the
Definitely been a
weather?
lot.
How's the weather in Chicago right now?
It's warm, which is good. It's still hot, you know. We last couple weeks we had like the 90s and close to 100, and that's good with me. I'm not complaining. We
I
asked for
listen.
the heat, it's here, so it's
Right, right,
here.
right. I miss Chicago. So if y'all see me looking up, down, understand that I'm looking at Miss Angie. So I can't look at y'all and Miss Angie too. So I'm gonna look at Miss Angie, but just know I'm talking to y'all too. So Miss Angie, oh my gosh, it has been. I want to say, what was it? 2015 maybe, somewhere around 14, 15. When did Solo Exquisite? I remember, and also um said was it Cedric? What was the name of the
Cedric, Orlando with the Mechanical Beats production.
Yes, yes.
That's what
That's
we
how we
all
met, right?
were. Yeah, we all were.
That's how I
Yep.
met you. Uh-huh. So if for many of you who that I had this song called Superwoman, right? That Mr. Hanky did for me. I actually did not record that song in Atlanta. I recorded that song in Chicago, in Cedric's studio. And that's kind of like how Cedric knew a lot of different talented people, and Miss Angie was one of them. And so I'm so excited to have you on because I've been watching you, right? You know how they say you never know
Yeah.
who's watching you. I've been watching you,
I
man.
always say that. I even say that all the time. So you kind of got to be careful when you're in the field. Just try to stay professional and post professional all the time. Because, like you said,
Yes,
you don't know who's watching.
you
But
never know
believe
who's
me,
watching.
people are watching even when you think they ain't. Trust, believe
Right,
that. Yeah.
right. So
Yes.
I love to take all of my guests down the yellow brick road. You know what I'm saying? I love to take that little journey to back to where your love of the arts and who you are, because I know you're a model, you're a spokesperson, you're a singer, you're a songwriter. You're just elite. You're in leadership. You're so many things, but I know that designing and clothing was your first love. So take us back down the yellow brick road to where your love of, you know, the arts, because fashion is still part of the arts, where it started from, like where it all began.
So obviously I've been singing since like two. So singing has always been like the number one talent. But then singing became poetry writing, right? And then as I got older, like I would say like 13, that was when like I was just kind of like I guess in my own zone. I would say it like my mom had 7 kids, right? We didn't have the name brand clothes. So my way of being fashionable was to design my own clothes. And at 13, I don't care if it was jeans. I would cut those jeans up, make them shorts, design. Whether it
Mm-hmm.
was a shirt, I would cut it up, even make ties up. I would make a skirt into like a shirt. So I just basically had the eye at 13, like wanting to just have my own style. I couldn't afford to, get the fancy clothing that other kids. So I had my own style. So
Mm-hmm.
then one day as I'm in high school, my art teacher stopped me. She loved the jeans that I designed. And she
Mm-hmm.
was like, those are pretty cool. You made these or you bought these? I said, I did. So she said I think they were having like a little competition thing for the whole school, like different art basically get picked. So I decided to design some jeans from scratch And it
Mm-hmm.
was other students that was like, whether it was like, certain sculptures or certain drawings. So I end up getting chosen. And my design, the jeans that I designed, end up being in the art institute here in Chicago.
Wow,
It
that's a
was
big
picked and
thing.
displayed.
That's a big thing.
Yeah,
That's a
it
big thing.
was. At that time I didn't think nothing of it.
Mm-hmm.
But when seeing your art and seeing like, wow, I was actually chosen, and to see it displayed, I was just on another level at that point. Because that's when I was like, I started to really get in it. Because at that point, I started basically wearing the clothes that I would design. So that's what made me get into the modeling, because I was designing my own clothes and wearing it to school.
And
So
you know
from
the
that
modeling really
point,
took off. The modeling really took
yeah,
off for you from
so
there because it looks like you've been in magazines and you've been doing commercial runway
everything,
modeling and wow.
a little bit of everything. I always tell people that's where it started. And I didn't know much about fashion or much about really anything, because I'm doing, mind you, I'm doing all this on my own from scratch. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
just really had the eye. And you know how some people that's just like naturally talented, like makeup artists who never got any training. I get never got no training. Like, I just see something, I can cut it up, boom, I'm designing, add strings to this, and it's just fly. Like, I just
Right.
had that eye. Like, I wanted my own style.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, we couldn't afford certain things. Boom, I'm designing my own stuff. And
I
in high school, it was two different things. So it was like, oh Lord, what else she coming to school in? Or it was
right.
like other people that was actually admired by the stuff I'd be wearing. Because mind you, I'm in high school and I was wearing high heels. Like, I was
Mm.
just fashionable, very fashionable.
So I
And that's
see
what led me to one model.
when I lived in Chicago, you didn't have any children. So I seen a little girl who looks like she's following in your footsteps. Because I swear I seen you in a
Yes.
modeling magazine or something holding a beautiful little girl who looked just like you.
Yeah, that's my baby. She's 3. Elvia, they both, my son too, they both are in agencies. I figure, you know what? I started a trend, right? And I feel like as parents, it's just so important to leave behind a legacy. Whatever your legacy is, you got to pass it on. Because I always wondered to myself, and I've thought about this. I kept thinking, like, I'm the only one in my family who sings. I'm the only one in my family who's like multi-talented, that does like the whole fashion industry, entertainment. And I always wonder, like, we all gonna leave this earth, but who would I pass it down to? All the wardrobe, all the knowledge. Started having kids, another kid, boom, pass it to my kids.
Okay, so you already know I'm
Teach
about
them
to
all
put
the
you on the
business, everything. Yeah.
you know I'm about to put you on the spot, right?
Uh oh.
What's your favorite song? Sing. Give me a melody
From anybody
from whatever
or
song. You know, we all have that one song that we sung that we loved all through childhood, all through growing up. Our favorite song, whatever your favorite song is, that whenever someone
oh, you know what? I would say, so if I can go back, the one person who was like a big inspiration to me when I was younger was Aaliyah. And
okay.
really it's two. So I love One in a Million, and I loved Try Again. That was like one song. I just like the theme of Try Again. We don't get a lot of songs that's like meaningful.
Okay. All right. Drop me a note.
Okay. Yes, if I can remember everything, it was what would you do to get to me? What would you say to have your way? Would you give up or try again? Or would you hesitate if I let you win? Or would you dust yourself or let it go? Ah.
Oh, now I love
Just a
Aaliyah
little
too. I love Aaliyah too.
bit.
I love Aaliyah. You know, the
That was
world
my
was
girl.
devastated when she passed away.
I
Yeah, I love Aaliyah
know.
too.
I just loved her style. I
Mm-hmm.
just loved everything about her. So it was devastating to
Mm-hmm.
me when she passed.
Yeah.
Very. Because I
So
love the
how did you
whole
get
with
into?
her, I love the whole tomboy
I'm
thing. I
sorry.
love the whole tomboy thing. Like that was just like the
Oh,
thing back then.
um, I know we have a little bit of a delay here, y'all, so you have to excuse us. But so how did you feel about being nominated top 10 queens of 2025? I'm jumping ahead some years because you had a lot going on this year in 2025. You've been bouncing around. I'm like, okay, so top
Yeah.
10 queens of 2025 for the International Face Magazine, July 2025 Woman of the Month. Power Organization Woman. Like, come on, you over there killing it in Chicago.
Yes.
So, how did that feel, and how did
Yes.
how did you get that?
Oh my goodness. So my biggest thing with the whole modeling, even like me, I'm like now at the point where like I'm kind of behind the scenes, I'm teaching, I'm coaching. And one of the things that I do is not just model, but I mentor, and not just mentor, but like I said, I teach different models. And basically, I'm with different organizations. Model Glow Up's one of them. The Powers another. So I deal with different organizations, and I'm basically a leadership in those organizations where I, like do a lot of public speaking, um, do a lot, like I said, mentoring, coaching. So with me doing that, it left a door for leadership. And not just that, but I do a lot of, what is that? How can I put it? Hosting. So that'd be the word. I do a
Okay.
lot of hosting, red carpet,
Mm-hmm.
interviews, stuff like that. I joined a podcast, Smitty's Eyes Open. I was the co-host for that. 102.3 was doing co-hosting with that. So basically, like I said, how people watch. So of
Mm-hmm.
course I'm being nominated. I've been nominated for so many things based off of the things that I've been doing: mentoring, coaching, being a part of organization, leadership, all of those things. Because to
That's
me,
powerful.
modeling is not just modeling or showcasing a brand.
Mm-hmm.
Modeling is meaningful. And
Yes.
the biggest thing I tell people is if you're modeling, what is your why? That's the biggest question people freeze
What is
on.
your why?
What is your why? The reason I ask that question is because everybody wants to model, everybody wants to be a pretty face. You're on Facebook, you're doing whatever, but what is the real reason? What is your goal? Like what's your method of this? And some people, they just want the attention, they want the love. And some people like me, I love fashion, obviously. I want to make a difference. I want people to feel confident. And that's my method. So I teach that basically.
And you know what? That's important, especially in this day and age. We're losing so many young people right now to the streets and stuff like that. They need to, we have to find different organizations and programs and things that interest these kids, these young girls, young boys, or whatever. Catch them early before the streets do. You understand what I'm saying? And so you'll be surprised how many people, how many children, young children, youth, have dreams and goals and aspirations, and they don't always have somebody to look up to or someone to go to. So it's good to have programs like what you're a leader of. You know what I'm saying? To pull these young ladies in, because I understand that it's more to modeling than just there's things that go behind it. Like
Yes.
there's the
Because
attitude,
I've even
class, and just
interviewed people, and
yeah.
that's like the biggest thing. They want to be seen, or they like the fancy clothes, but they don't understand that modeling is more than pretty clothes. You're a whole brand, especially if you get to the point where you modeling a big brand, whether it's Fenty or something. It's so important. You modeling that brand. You basically are that brand, because now you got to be careful what you post, what you do, or you basically fire from that brand.
Ain't that
You're
something?
representation of that brand. You got to be some type of role model, some type of inspiration, basically.
And they have to go through stuff. I know models. You'll hear some of the older models that'll come back and talk about things they had to go through in modeling. So your mind got to be right. You got to be mentally, emotionally,
Well, that's
spiritually
why I
ready.
say the whole why. You got to know why, because, and not just your why. You got to know the biggest thing I tell people that's wanting coaching. The biggest thing besides why is what kind of modeling you want to do. That is the biggest important thing. And the reason I try to ask them those questions because anybody say, "Oh, I want a model." Okay, guess what? Okay, put this lingerie on, put this swimsuit on, and now you're uncomfortable. Okay, but you said you want a model. Here's the opportunity. That's why it's important to know what kind of modeling you want to do. You want to be a fashion model, commercial model, runway. It's important because a lot of models, if you hear their story, oh, they put me in this, and I wasn't comfortable in this. Know what kind of modeling you want to do.
What do you
That's
think?
important.
What about even the weight thing? I've heard of a lot of models dealing with anorexia and stuff like that, and different eating disorders. Do you think that
So,
now they're starting to accept models with weight more than they used to back in the day?
oh yeah, big time. Back then, oh, they were critical then. And that's one of the reasons why, I know people were so critical with Tyra Banks being so tough on the models, but back then that was beauty standard. I mean, today's day is a lot different because, runway is plus size. You're gonna see a lot of plus size. Even like in different endorsement deals, you're gonna have different sizes and stuff like that. Back then, it was like you got to be so tiny, so skinny, and stay that way. And I love that the industry has changed though.
Yeah.
It's like it's so many doors more open to
Mhm.
diversity of beauty.
They're gonna have to because these girls getting these butt implants. They need to come down models for the clothing for that because that's what they doing right now.
Dynamic now. Even when I do like fashion show and I'm like coaching behind the scenes, all sizes, all heights, all of that. It's not just
That's
strictly
good
a certain,
because you're
no.
right. During the time when the Tyler Banks show was on, I
Oh
think
yeah,
they
back
had
then,
to be a
they were
certain height.
tiny.
Yeah, they had to
Five
be a certain
nine,
height. Yeah.
size 0 to 4. That was the typical back then.
Mhm.
Today's day is different now.
They
Because you
need
don't have to be
people. Too
five
many
nine.
women like
Some are like five
chicken.
six.
Listen, we like chicken and stuff. We like to eat.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So tell us more about when you do your red carpet events. You have any events coming up, or what's in the? Because you're always busy. You're one of the ones. I'm like, you're gonna have to catch Miss Angie, okay? Because Miss Angie be
Yeah.
rocking.
So I actually am going to Indianapolis this Friday. I'm doing red carpet interviews. Yeah, Friday, six
Okay,
thirty p.m. Six doors open at 6. I posted all the details, the flyer on my page,
okay,
so people would know about that. So that, yeah.
okay. So we're gonna have to definitely get that out there. So so I know you have that coming up. You got a lot of different stuff coming up.
Yeah,
Um,
me and the kids are in the parade the day after. So my Billiken
wow,
parade.
you're gonna be busy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So if they for those who want to follow you, right? For models who may want to ask you some aspiring models who may want to ask you some questions or send you a message or whatever, how would they get in touch with you?
So right now you can follow me on Facebook, Angie A Love, or Instagram, A.love underscore number one diva. I'm working on my website, y'all, so it'd be easier to book, get certain sessions, getting certain training. That's my next goal. So then the website would be easier. But right now, follow me on the social media.
Awesome and amazing. So definitely please pay attention to Miss Angie A Love. What's your Facebook? You got Facebook. What's your Facebook? Is it still it's
Yeah, by
Angie A Love?
Facebook, Angie A Love. It's ANGIE space ALOVE. Angie A Love.
That had to be fun growing up with the last name Love. Miss Love. Love, come on. Love, get over here, Love.
Yeah, it's just a lot of people because my real name is Angenique, and people would ask me, where the name come from. Well, it's a love for a lot of things. It's a love for fashion. It's a love for music. It's a love for the world. It's just a love for people. I'm just love.
I love
I
it.
show love to everybody. It's just a love for everything. Angie, a love.
I love it. That love
You
it.
can't go
Because
wrong with loving.
you can't go wrong with love. Listen, love is what make the world go round. Love is I love it. I love the love. So thank you, Miss Love. Miss Love, love,
Yes.
love. So okay. So we know that you got some stuff coming on this month, and then you, of course, you're going to be busy. You got a website that you're working with, but right now they can reach out to you through Instagram or Facebook, right?
Yes.
So if you could give words of encouragement, right, to anyone who wants to deal with the modeling world or just the leadership world, and just anyone who wants to get into being an inspiration to the youth or to or young people or people who are in the arts at all, what advice would you give?
The number one thing I tell people, and I'm going to keep telling people, is know your why. The reason I say know your whys is because it's going to motivate you even more to know why you're doing it and not just be doing just because. When you have a purpose and you say, hey, I'm doing this because of XYZ, now you got a motivation. Now you got a purpose. And now we can focus on that pushing forward. And another thing is, be true to yourself, because whatever brand you're doing, whether you're entertainment, designing, whatever you're doing, it's so important to stay true to yourself, because other people will come in trying to sway you away. You're going to get a lot of that. You're going to get people that won't support you. You're going to get the Debbie Downers. You're going to get that. But stay true to who you are. That's the biggest thing.
You know what? That is so true because in this industry, if you don't stay true to who you are, then everybody's like you said, the Debbie Downers, the people who felt like you would never gonna make it, the people who you grew up with who don't respect you, the jealous ones, the envious ones, all that kind of energy can affect you if you don't know who you are. And if you're not centered, you got to be centered with who you are, your faith, and God. I hope that for those of you who have faith in God, for me, I knew my why. My why was I love music. That was my why. So anything that had to do with music or entertainment or arts, I loved it. And that's what kept me going along with my faith. So it was my faith and my love for arts that kept me going. That was my why. Everything around it, it's because they say that when you love something, you'll do it even if you're not getting paid. And I wasn't always getting
Yep.
paid, you know?
Yep.
So I agree with that. I love that. Okay, Miss Love in the freaking building, baby. Well, I am so
Yes.
glad that you came to On the Move Unscripted. Thank you for coming down my lane. My love for Chicago always, even though you was on the South Side, so I was on the West Side, but I still had love for the South Side. And I just love anybody who loves the arts and it has a positive personality, a positive spirit, and that's what I get from you. So thank you for sharing your positive energy with On Move Unscripted and with me. And I'm looking forward to you know sharing you and your gifts with the world. I really am.
I
I'm so.
appreciate that. Thank you. I try to be positive. I really try, because I know the world is so much negativity. We
Ooh.
need some positivity. You got to break that ice, got to break that cycle.
Yes, yes. And you'll notice that when you start to break it, when you take yourself from a low vibrational energy and you start to raise yourself to a positive vibration and start speaking positive, you could be in a bad mood, but that positivity will shift the atmosphere, you know?
Yeah, you know what they
So
say, the power of the tongue. So you got to speak the positivity.
you
Don't
got to
don't even
speak
speak
it.
nothing negative. Don't even speak nothing bad. Just speak nothing but words of encouragement. Just, even if we having a bad day, Lord, be like, Lord, bring God in it every time. Break
Yes,
it. You know?
yes. I had to do that before we started today.
Yeah, like, Lord,
Jesus!
come on, let me get through this, cause yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, I appreciate you so very much. Any shout outs that you want to give before we close out? Anything you want to say?
Yeah, of course. I got to shout out you for the interview, Patricia. Definitely got to shout out you first, because I appreciate everything you're doing. And by you seeing the movement, you admire by it, which makes me even thrilled to even go harder. Definitely got to shout you out. God, of course, Lord, you're doing, he's the reason. He's the reason for everything.
Come on
My
now.
family, my fiance, the kids, just model glow up power, Ebony Magazine, Susan, just everybody that's worked with me, that's pushed me, that's believe in me, just everybody.
That's awesome. me. Well, I thank you so very much for stopping by. And like I said, everybody make sure that you keep an eye on Miss Angela. Please tell them once again your Facebook's, Instagram, or different ways that they can reach you.
Facebook, Angie A Love. That's ANG space ALOVE. Or Instagram, A.love_number 1 diva.
All righty then. Well, thank you very much, and you have a great day and be safe out there. Peace and love to you. Have a great
Yes,
day.
thank you. And God bless everybody.
See y'all later, y'all. Y'all can tune
Okay.
in. You'll be able to catch this interview on iHeartRadio, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. But I'm just happy that she has come down the On Move Unscripted lane, and I'm excited to introduce her to all who follow me. So y'all get ready for Miss Angie A. Love in the building. Peace and love,
Yes.
y'all. All righty. Bye bye.